Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Melanie, and in this channel we discuss everything from books, bodybuilding and business, and basically if you watch my vlogs you'll know we also cover everything in between. But today, or this evening, I have got a considerable book haul for you. These have been sitting, I'm looking because the books are spread round about my floor and over here. I don't even know if I can like turn you round to see. That's only a small corner of them. So yeah, we are going to be doing a big haul. These are all a mixture of charity shops. Some have been gifted. I bought from the likes of Vinted, Waterstones, the works, the usual suspects. We could be here for some time. I've not counted how many we've got, so I would suggest grabbing yourself a hot beverage of sorts. I have got a hot chocolate and we will get into it. And I've got one, I'm looking at it here, I've got one Fairyloot box which I've not opened yet. Well, I've opened, but I don't know what the book is. I don't know, I've been avoiding all spoilers online. And I also found quite a wee while ago actually 2 other Fairyloot unboxings which I'm going to do at the very end. So if you're not really interested in them, you don't need to wait to the end. But yeah, let's get into it. So we're just going to go with what's near me. And if you live in Ayrshire, which I do, I frequently visit a bookshop called the Book Nook in Sturton. And I went in. This is usually not my usual genre, but I like the idea. So it's a novel love story, and basically the idea is that a character ends up lost in a book, one of her favourite books. Basically I love anything to do with books, or if it takes place in like the likes of a library or something, I'm all for that. So I thought it did indeed sound like a novel love story, so we'll see how we go. Then while I was in here, to be honest, I don't know if I'm really into the actual story. I have no idea what it's about, but I was talking to the bookseller in the shop and he said if you love beautiful books then look at this one. And right enough, look at the sprayed edges on this. This is The Betrayal of Thomas True. And as I say, it's like a historical mystery, and I'm so excited because I've forgotten half these books that I've bought. So this is a series, it's the Shadow series by Clara Sutton, and I basically wanted these because I'm pretty sure they feature dragons. So we've got, oh yes, to fight a witch you must befriend a dragon. So the first one is in Cursed Shadow, then in the Dragon Shadow, and then the last one is Darkest Shadow. Then sometimes I look back at these and I'm like, well, what possessed me to buy these? This was the charity shop buy, and it's Mallory Blackman, and it's Chasing the Stars. So it says Olivia and her twin brother Aidan are heading home back to Earth following the virus that wiped out the rest of their crew, their family in its entirety. Nathan's ship is heading in the opposite direction, but on the journey it's attacked, only a few survive. Their lives unexpectedly collide. Nathan and Olivia are instantly attracted to each other, deeply head over heels, but not everyone is pleased. Surrounded by rumours, deception, even murder, is it possible to live out happily ever after? So I thought that sounded quite interesting because, as I say, I love sci-fi, but then I also love anything to do with like space. This says, go boldly where few young adult titles have gone before, a combination of Star Trek, 10 Things I Hate About You and a murder mystery, what's not to like. Then this was gifted to me by my friend Sam. So it's CJ Cook, who is the author of The Lighthouse Witches, and this is called The Ghost Woods. And I'm really excited. I might set this, as I go through these actually, I'm going to set aside the ones that I want to read, because as I'm filming this, it is peak autumnal spooky season. And I want to kind of do that thing of reading relevant things, like witchy things, round about this time. So I'm going to set aside for my TBR cart this kind of thing. I was very excited to get this because I literally just stumbled across this author, Lucy Jane Wood, by accident on, was it YouTube? Because she does vlogs and she's like an indie author. And this is her like first like mainstream published book, and it's called Bewitched. And Waterstones were doing this special edition with these lovely sprayed edges, and I happen to have a Waterstones voucher. So I picked this up, and she works in a bookshop. Belladonna Blackthorn. She's been working in the bookshop and hiding her witchcraft. So that's another one that can go in the autumn pile. Again, in Ayrshire, I discovered in Troon, of all places, that there is an Oxfam shop that's just for books. So one of the last times I was in there, I saw this one. I have never heard of Charles de Lint before, but it says he's a winner of the World Fantasy Award, and this is Dingo. The quotes in the back says, a master storyteller who blends Celtic, Native American and other cultures into a seamless mythology that resonates with magic and truth. Then while I was there as well, my friend Sam recommended this one. It's called How to Kill Your Family. Now, as much as I say, I'm very much in the fantasy, romantasy, sci-fi, that kind of area, genre, I do like to get out of my reading comfort zone occasionally. So she says it's very funny and quite dark. Do I put this in the... Does this count as a spooky season read? This one I'm actually really excited about. Never heard of this author, never even heard of this book, but it's called Long Live Evil by Sarah Rees Brennan. Oh, it's got a map in it. But it says, a story for anyone who's ever fallen for the villain. This epic fantasy debut from Sarah puts the reader in the villain's shoes for an adventure that is both brilliant and supremely satisfying. Expect a rogues gallery of villains, including an axe-wielding maid, a shining knight with dark moods, a homicidal bodyguard, and a playboy spymaster with a golden heart and a filthy reputation. Now, this is one of two. I got this edition from the locked library, and I honestly nearly cried when I got it because I'd already bought the paperback. I think it might have been in one of my other hauls. And then we got this one. So this is When the Moon Hatched. And look at this edition. So look at these sprayed edges. And then take the cover off. So it's the same end pages front and back. And then this is the naked hardcover. And I've heard, I'm going to definitely add this to the pile because I've heard so many amazing things. And I know for a fact that the Raven Hair Reader on YouTube, like, she reckons that this is potentially her best read of 2024. So I can't wait. And again, dragons. I love a dragon. I don't know why. I just do. I've even got one tattooed on me now. Oh, talking about dragons. I think this was it's a Lumicrate exclusive. So this is Of Jade and Dragons by Amber Chen. Again, I have no idea. Sometimes I do think it's good to go into books like not really hearing much about them. But again, beautiful end pages. I don't know if I'm going to, some of these, if I'm honest, I don't know if I'll ever get round to reading. I'm looking over here because I am in the process of, I've got 3 bookcases and I'm in the process of, after I've done this video actually, I want to like put all relevant like titles together and whatever, and I've got quite a few sitting, like Illumicrate books, Fairyloot books, and some of them I'm like, am I actually ever going to read them, or am I better putting them on the likes of Vinted? This one I was so excited to find in Works for literally, I think it was marked down to £1.50, and then I got to the checkout and it was £1. And it's These Holy Vows by Lexi Rhyme. Sexy, surprising and full of secrets. I'm so happy I'm doing this. As I say, I'm discovering books that I never even realised that I had. This one I actually, so it's one of those ones, again it's not my usual genre, it is the Thursday Murder Club. I think this is the second one because I read the first one and gave it to my mum. And again, I did enjoy it, but it's one of those ones I wouldn't go out of my way to like buy them or anything. And actually my local Tesco, I don't know if they all do it, but my local Tesco has like a little book swap. or you can put in a small donation, and this one was on it. And I remember, so this is The Man Who Died Twice, by the way. I remember standing there looking at that, and a wee woman come up to me and she was actually, what one's that? What have you got? And I was like, I'm having this one. Thank you very much. So again, it's not going to be like top of my TBR list, but it's good to know that I've got it. This series I am so excited about now. I was listening to, and if you haven't and you love books and fantasy and whatever, you need to listen to the Fantasy Fangirls podcast. And so basically they go through like series of books. So their first series was Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. Now they're working through all the ACOTAR books, I'm pretty sure. And they're quite lengthy podcasts, so I'm taking quite a while to go through them. But they did like a one-off episode with the lady who runs Book Huddle on Instagram and TikTok and whatever. And she recommended this series. She said if you like the likes of Harry Potter and you like that kind of like magical academic setting, you will love this series, which is the Air Awakens series, I want to say. Yeah, Air Awakens. So book 1 is called Air Awakens. I actually think they're really beautiful covers as well. Sorry if my light is affecting this. Book 2 is Fire Falling. Book 3 is Earth's End. Book 4 is Water's Wrath. And the last one, this is beautiful, is Crystal Crowned. Look at that. So I'm really excited to, I think I might add that to the pile. So where's the other one going? So this is the second one. So I also got Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, but this is the second one. When I was in Waterstones, I picked this one up first, and I asked the bookseller, and she said that it's not like standalone, you ideally need to read the first one first. So it's definitely in one of these piles, I don't know where. Then this is a Lumicrate exclusive, again with beautiful sprayed edges. This is Goddess of the River, and I'm actually, oh wow, look at that. I'm actually looking forward to reading this because I love these kind of reimagining, retelling, and it says it's a powerful reimagining of the story of Ganga, Goddess of the River, and her doomed mortal son. We have got The Honey Witch, which again, very much giving like cosy cottage vibes. Reading The Honey Witch is like dreaming in a fragrant sunlit garden while bees sing around you. It's a gorgeous book with a lovely cottagecore ambience. And a heartwarming sapphic romance intertwined with unique magic that enchants the imagination. The Honey Witch is cursed to never find true love, but when she meets a woman who doesn't believe in magic, she dares to hope for more. And I thought this one, I've still got the receipt in it. If anyone's interested, it was £22 with £4 off. 18. Past maths there. Right. Yes, I thought this sounded really interesting because, so this is Joanne Harris, The Moonlight Market, and I'm pretty sure it's based in London. A spellbinding modern fairy tale of forbidden love, magical wars, lost princes, and a secret world hidden just out of sight. Perfect for fans of Neil Gaiman and V.E. Schwab. Orphaned, lonely and lost in his photography work, Tom has no intention of falling in love, and yet love finds him in the shape of beautiful Vanessa, who lives in a dangerous double life in the heart of London's King's Cross. I think I might put that in my pile. My pile is growing of things I want to read. One is definitely going on the pile. So it's by Elizabeth Helen and it's Bonded by Thorns, and this is the one that's like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I actually think there's going to be about 7 books in the series. So this is the first one, and it is a reverse harem. I'll be honest, I had to Google what a reverse harem was. So basically it's like when there's one female main character and then several love interests, male love interests. If you didn't know, like me. I was actually thinking I'm going to have to make like an Instagram reel or a YouTube short on the amount of Beauty and the Beast retellings, reimaginings, books I have, because as you'll see in this pile alone I have several, and then I'm pretty sure I've got other ones, because Beauty and the Beast is like one of my favourite Disney films, and I loved the live action version with Emma Watson in it. So, just as a side note. I love, this is Matt Haig and his most recent book, which I got from the Book Nook actually, and it's called The Life Impossible. And on reading the synopsis, it's set in Ibiza, and I wasn't really sure if it didn't really like stand out to me. But then when I was speaking to Sarah, who owns the Book Nook, and then another lady that was in the shop at the same time, they were saying it's a brilliant book, and it's got that kind of there is a kind of slight sci-fi alien aspect, because one of Matt Haig's books, it's one of my all-time favourite books, is The Humans by Matt Haig. And so yeah, I'm really intrigued now to dig more into it and find out more about it. This is what I mean about Beauty and the Beast. So this, no, am I talking rubbish? This is The North Wind by Alexandria Warwick, and it is a lush, enchanting fantasy romance inspired by Beauty and the Beast and the myth of Hades and Persephone. So I thought that was quite an interesting combination. And I'm pretty sure I actually bought this in Asda, because I remember looking at this like the other week and being like, I don't remember buying that. But then when I was in the book aisle in Asda, I saw it. So I think that's where I got it from. Again, another one that I don't remember buying, but I'm presuming it's a charity shop find. So this is Spellwright by Blake Charlton, and one of the few truly original magical systems we've seen in fantasy fiction. Nicodemus Wheel has trained at the stronghold of Starhaven, learning how to write spells in his muscle made from luminescent magical runes. Initially, Nicodemus showed great promise, able to forge magical sentences with great speed. Blah blah blah. There was only one problem: Nicodemus couldn't spell. Every time he created a magical text, he unintentionally corrupted it, creating a potential deadly misspell. Now, while his peers advance as wizards, he is still an apprentice, living with the devastating knowledge that he has failed to live up to prophecy. Some of these, again, I'm like, why, what possessed me buying these at the time? And I think, to be honest, I'll probably unhaul them, so... This is Exhibit A, Artemis Fowl. I mean, it does sound quite funny, and I think it's meant to be, I mean, it's a children's book, so again, maybe I'll read it when I want to read something that's not taxing on the brain. Another one, which I'm like, I jumped on like the social media bandwagon, but as I've discovered from the likes of the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, that doesn't actually mean anything anymore. But this is Yellowface by Rebecca Kwan, and it's all about, this is one hell of a story, it's just not hers to tell. When failed writer June witnesses her rival Athena die in a freak accident, she sees her opportunity and takes it. So what if it means stealing Athena's final manuscript? So what if it means borrowing her identity? And so what if the first lie is only in the beginning? I did think it was kind of unusual, and again, I might get round to it at some point, or it might end up going to the charity shop, who knows. Another Beauty and the Beast number. So it's called Beastly Beauty, by Jennifer Donnelly. But what I loved about this is, the woman is the beast. What makes a girl beastly? Is it having too much ambition, being too loud, taking up too much space, or is it just wanting something, anything too badly? Beauty meets female fury in this epic retelling of a classic love story. I thought that sounds brilliant. I'm actually going to add that to my file. Then we have got, I actually ended up buying this because we got the second book in I think it was a Fairyloot. This is Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin, and it's also Cinderella retelling. Is that a retelling? Because it's 200 years. It's been 200 years since Cinderella found her prince, but the fairy tale is over. This fresh take on a classic tale will make readers question what they've always been told about happily ever after, and root for girls to break down the construct of the world around them. Then another one that's it's out with my usual genre, is Sweet Pea by CJ Skuss. That's author. My brain is not equating how to say this. But it's basically like a kind of murder mystery type one. Rhiannon Lewis might seem like the average girl next door, but she's got a killer secret. A kill list. because the girl everyone overlooks might be able to get away with murder. And then in the kind of like little blurb bit at the back it says you must read this book if you like your anti-heroes dirty mouthed, deadly and dark. Another one I'm actually really looking forward to, and it was a supermarket buy, is Ink Blood Sister Scribe by Emma Torres. Deep in the woods of Vermont is a house nobody can find, a house where Joanna lives alone protecting a collection of rare books. But these aren't ordinary books, these are books of ancient magic containing spells written in blood. Joanna's estranged older sister is constantly on the move, attempting to outrun the deadly magic that killed her mother. Now camped out in an isolated research base in Antarctica, Esther has finally found a sense of happiness and belonging. But when she finds blood in a mirror, she knows she's been watched and hunted, but by who? This is a bit of a rogue choice in another Oxfam bookshop. It is The Book of Strange New Things by Michael Faber. I think it's sci-fi. Peter Lee is called on a journey of a lifetime, a highly unusual humanitarian mission into deep space, one that will take him light years from his beloved wife. As Peter pushes up against his own limits, word reaches him that Bee's world back home is falling apart. Faber's novel asks how love might survive such distance. This is one that's kind of like an independent published book, and again my friend Sam gave me it. It is The Witches of Scotland, The Dream Dancers Akashic Chronicles Book 1 by Stephen P. Aitchison. We have got, how did I find out about this? This was a Vinted purchase, I'm sure. It is The Book of Lost Things by John Connolly. The Book of Lost Things, an imaginative tribute to the journey we must all make through the loss of innocence into adulthood. A book for every adult who can recall the moment when childhood began to fade, and for every child about to face that moment. It's a story of hope for all who have lost and all who have yet to lose. It is an exhilarating tale of grief and loss, loyalty and love, and most poignantly, the enduring power of stories in our lives. Then another sci-fi one, and it's actually kind of like current. So I actually looked at this one of the times I was in the Book Nook, and it's In Ascension by Martin McInnes. It's about Lee, who joins an exploration team in discovering a trench in the Atlantic Ocean. Her discovery leads Lee to work for an ambitious new space agency where she learns that the Atlantic Trench is only one of several related phenomena from across the world, each piece linking up to suggest a pattern beyond human understanding. Well, when I dug out my Kindle recently, I had actually years and years ago, I downloaded this, but I don't remember reading it. And it's Cinder by Marissa Mayer, and it's part of the Lunar Chronicles. Cinder, a gifted mechanic in New Beijing, is also a cyborg. She's reviled by her stepmother and blamed for her stepsister's sudden illness. But when her life becomes entwined with his handsome Prince Kai, she finds herself at the centre of a violent struggle between the desires of an evil queen and a dangerous temptation. This is not the fairy tale you remember, but it's the one you won't forget. Then again, I can't remember if I've read this one, so it was a try to shop find, but I really liked when, I know he's done, don't know how many Rivers of London books now. Is this the first one? Yes, the first PC Grant novel. Again, I downloaded quite a few of these in my Kindle before and I have read them, but I thought that I am going to reread this because I found it quite a quirky idea. So this is London as you've never seen it before, a city of wonders and terrors, a city of ancient secrets which is haunted by its past, a city where you're never far from magic, a city Peter Grant will help you discover. My story really started when I tried to take a witness statement from a man who was already dead. Now, I have bought, don't know how many random, like one-off Cassandra Clare books. I can see one over there, Chain of Thorns. And because obviously she's got different series and whatever. So I was in the charity shop again and I came across this. So this is the Dark Artifices book 1, which is part of the Shadow Hunters, is that a series? So this is Lady Midnight. As I say, I am just randomly, as I come across them, buying them. I do have like one of the full series, but I know there's a certain order that they go in. One of these days when I have like my giant home library, I'll get them all and have them all together. Then, guess what? It's another Beauty and the Beast number. So this is Barefoot on the Wind by Zoe Marriott. And it says it's a beautiful, thought-provoking retelling of Beauty and the Beast set in fairy tale Japan. Then, I distinctly remember buying this in TK Maxx a fair while ago actually, so that shows you how long these books have been sitting here. And it's a bit of a controversial one. It's very Marmite, people seem to love it or hate it, but it's Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. And I like the fact that it's got the... Is that the right way up? I don't know. It's got sprayed edges anyway. Oh, look. Here's the first Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. Oh, love books, man. 2 books which I also got on Vinted. I'm pretty sure I got both of these for like £5, which is exciting because they are current. So we have got Assistant to the Villain and Apprentice to the Villain. And apparently they're meant to be quite silly and funny. So again, these will be like palette cleansers in between whatever I'm reading at the time. Then another cottagecore book. We have got The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. It says it's a heartwarming, cosy fantasy about stolen spell books, starting over and finding love in the unlikeliest places. Keela has always had trouble dealing with people, and as a librarian at the Great Library of Elysium, she hasn't had to. She and her assistant Kaz, a sentient spider plant, have spent most of the last 11 years sequestered among the Empire's precious spellbooks, protecting the magic from the city's elite. I think I'm going to add that to my autumn pile, because how cute does that sound? Waterstones, but I don't remember. The City of Stardust by Georgia Summers. For centuries, Everleys have seen their brightest and best disappear, taken as punishment for a crime no one remembers, for a purpose no one understands. Their tormentor is a woman named Penelope, who never ages, never grows sick, and never forgives a debt. 10 years ago, Violet Everly's mother left to break the curse and never returned. Now Violet must find her mother, or she will be taken in her place. We've got the Wren in the Holly Library by K.A. Lind. And in a world where monsters are real, a thief should be careful who she steals from. The Wren in the Holly Library is the start of an addictive dark fantasy romance series from K.A. Lind, perfect for fans of V.E. Schwab and Holly Black. And then, I'm also excited about this one. So I recently read Legends and Lattes, which has on the front of it high fantasy, low stakes, and that's precisely what it is, but it was just perfect. Like, it's just like perfect. And then I also read the Crescent Moon tea shop, which was lovely, and the same kind of thing. So when I heard about this, I thought, I hope this is in the same vein, and I think it is. It says it's a cosy fantasy steeped in love. Did I say what it was? Can't Spell Treason Without Tea by Rebecca Thorne. It says palace politics just weren't their cup of tea. A heartwarming journey brimming with peril, magic and love of tea. I love tea. Normally I would have a cup of tea, but I haven't had hot chocolate today, so I'm having it now. Remember what I was saying about random Cassandra Clare's books? Da-da! So this is Chain of Gold, The Last Hours, Book 1. Oh, and I've got Chain of Thorns I've got over there, so I can put that with that. That'll make my... I was got not OCD, I don't have OCD, but I do like CDs to be together. So when my dad built me my bookcase that's over there, he literally just bunged all the books in, so there's no, like, we've got like Crescent City books are like there, and the other ones in the series were just put somewhere else, and that was really annoying me. I forgot about this one, and again, very, very outside my usual reading genre / comfort zone, but it is the series by S.T. Abbey, and I think this is basically, is it 5 books and like the one, and it's about like a woman who is basically a murderer, but she falls in love with a detective that's trying to catch her. Romance with a stabby twist. Then this is the 3rd book in the series. Yeah, so I've got Twin Crowns and Cursed Crowns, and this is Burning Crowns. Look at that. But it's basically about 2 twin sisters, and the first twin is like the queen, and then the second twin's like the spare. So if anything happens to the first twin, like she takes over and just pretends that she's the queen, I think. I might get that wrong, but I mean, I haven't even read the first 2, but I have this thing of my toxic trait is buying series before I even know if I like them. Ooh, I forgot about this one. Remember how I said I love dragons? So this is A Natural History of Dragons, a memoir by Lady Trent, and I'm getting, by Marie Brennan, I'm getting the feeling it's kind of in the same vein as the Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia to Fairies. And there's quite, I think there's quite a few like different books. Can't wait to read that. Yeah, so it's like the same kind of idea, so it's meant to be written as like a kind of guide, but then there's you're reading it as the backstory of everything that's going on about the characters while they're writing that guide, if that makes sense. Is this another Beauty and the Beast book? We will soon find out. Where did I get these from? So we've got Nectar of the Wicked and Wrath of the Damned by Ella Fields, and it's part of the Deadly Divine duet. It says, beware of the Fae and never trust them with your heart. This feels kind of Beauty and the Beast-ish, because it says, for 20 years I was an unwanted changeling with no name, no family, no answers, until an irresistibly wicked fairy begins a seductive game of cat and mouse. I am his prey, his treasure, a perfect pet. He offers a trade. He will take me to the fairy realms to assist in my search for the truth of who I am. In return, I must agree to marry him. But things are not as they seem, and soon after arriving at his manor, I begin to unravel a dangerous web of lies. Far deadlier still, I am falling in love with a monster who has no heart. Oh, I forgot this. I've actually read this one, but I included it in the pile because I bought it as part of this. So my memory card ran out of storage. That's officially the first time that's ever happened to me, so I must be talking too much. I was saying that this is a book that I read relatively recently and I actually really enjoyed it. So it's like kind of dystopian. I also like that. I forgot to say when I'm talking about genres. Anyway, so this is The Kingdom by Jess Rothenberg, and it's kind of like an alternative. It's set slightly in the future and it's like an alternative Disneyland where there's these like cyborg type. Welcome to the Kingdom, a dazzling fantasy theme park where happily ever after is not just a promise but a rule. 7 beautiful fantasists, half human, half android princesses are programmed to make wishes come true no matter what. And it was very good actually. I like the idea, so it's kind of the writing style, it's like a mixture of, because there's like an investigation that goes on, there's like, oh god that's not going to show up, but there's like text messages, there's like pictures, it kind of jumps back and forth in the timeline as well. Again, a good palette cleanser. This one I had been eyeing up in Waterstones for ages and then it came in the work. This was like £5 in the works, and it is Feybound by Sarah L. Arife. A romantic fantasy of epic proportions crackling with magic and passion. Imprisoned by fate, divided by blood, bound by desire. Welcome to the intoxicating world of the Fae. Dum dum dum. We're getting precarious down here. Then, I'm not expecting too much of these, but fun fact, my partner used to be a professional ice hockey player. And I feel like this is another one that's been all over like Instagram, TikTok, whatever, and it's Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. And when I was in the works, I saw this one, which is Hard Knocks by Ruby Lang. You can't put love in the penalty box. Hashtag cheesy. This is one that I'm definitely going to have to scan into my... I've recently got the Goodreads app because I need to keep track. I'm getting to that stage now where sometimes I see a book and I'm like, do I own that? I have a feeling I do. I nearly bought this again the other day and look, I have it. So it is The Power by Naomi Alderman. And it says, all over the world, women are discovering they have the power. With a flick of fingers, they can inflict terrible pain, even death. Suddenly, every man on the planet finds they've lost control. The day of the girls has arrived, but when will it end? Oh, and I got it from TK Maxx. So the RRP was $8.99, I got it for $2.99. Then, these two, if you can't tell, Sam and I like books, so she gave me these. So we've got The Maidens by Alex, that man, or woman, man, I think it's like a murder mystery. Seamlessly weaved in Greek mythology, psychology and murder. Then we've got Devil's Breath by Jill Johnson. Revenge is the sweetest poison. I've always been best with plants and people. That's like me with books. When her precious garden is vandalised and someone close to Simone is murdered with a toxin derived from a rare poisonous plant, Eustacia becomes implicated in the crime. Right, we're on to the last pile, people, on to the last pile. I got 4 of these, again, great vintage find. So, I don't know what the deal, like with the whole Stephanie Garber, is it Once Upon a Broken Heart? I'm looking over here because it's up there. I'm pretty sure that they suggested you read the Caraval series before starting that. So, again, it was one I was going to buy in like Waterstones or whatever, and then I thought I would rather just like, I also like the whole like if I can, I will always try and buy on the likes of like Vinted or something, and like, so not just buy new all the time. And oftentimes, especially on Vinted, not so much eBay, but the likes of Vinted, and even if you go onto Amazon and you look at the new and used, you can get some really, really good deals. So I searched for Caraval Vinted, and then there was a woman was selling this along with these, and I saw Ready Player One, so I loved the film. I've never read the book, but it also came with Deep Light by Frances Harding, and this one says, an electrifying story about friendship as dark and dangerous as the ocean and a journey as treacherous as the gods themselves. And then Rumble Star by Abby Elphinstone. I think it's like a young adult. And again, it's quite nice because it's got the blue edges. But I thought for less than the price of like the RRP of one book, I got 4. You can't complain about that. These were another charity shop find. So by Scarlett Sinclair, it's A Touch of Darkness, and then I think this is the second one, A Touch of Ruin, which is again a Hades and Persephone retelling, reimagining. I love that kind of stuff. Then I jumped on this bandwagon. I got the novella Powerful by Lauren Roberts and got Reckless. I haven't even read the first one. What's the first one? Powerless. But again, that story of having the same series together. So I hope I like it. These, the Filthy Rich Vampire series, and apparently she's coming out with, in January, Filthy Rich Fae. So these were 3 for £6 in the works, and I've already got, so these are books 2 to 4. I already had the first one, and I do like a kind of vampire story, and I don't think they're very like deep, but I think they're quite spicy. Anyone who says they don't like spice in a book is talking rubbish. This one, I thought all the HMVs had shut down, but when I was recently in Coventry, there was an HMV, and they had a book section, and they had a really good deal with loads of like current books. And again, was it Ravenhair Reader was talking about this? I have no idea why I wanted it, but yeah, I was talking about this one, which is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. Don't ask me what it's about. It's one of these ones that I think it's a classic, and I've heard so many people talk about it. Again, in the charity shop, I was like, oh my goodness, these sound absolutely brilliant. 3 books by Genevieve Cogman, and it's part of the, I realised it was part of the series. I was just kind of picking them up randomly, and it's basically, so the first book was The Invisible Library, and then we've got The Invisible Library, The Masked City, and The Burning Page. So this is the 3rd one. This is the 4th one. 3, 4, and this is the 6th one. I've not done very well. I distinctly remember I was getting like deja vu, and I was like, I'm sure I read The Invisible Library, and sure enough it's on my Kindle, so I'm going to reread that. If I like them, I will then buy like the ones in between these. I'm not going to do, I know I said I like to have series together, but I'm looking over here and I did this thing where I found the Skullduggery Pleasant books in a charity shop, but it was like books 2 through, I think there's like more than 14 books in that series. Say I found about 8 of them or something. I then went online and ordered the other ones. I've not read a single Skullduggery Pleasant book, but I've got them all sitting there. So in this instance, I will try and be sensible. And if I like The Invisible Library, well, it's meant to be like it says in here, like in the humorous and satirical tradition of Discworld, or reminiscent of the works of Diana Wynne Jones and Neil Gaiman, and I love Neil Gaiman, so I have high hopes. Right, we're on to the last 3, plus Fairyloot. This is a kind of sci-fi one again. Lifelike by J. Christoph. Hey you, yes you, put this grimy, beautiful, devastating, hilarious, screaming, writhing, all-out post-apocalyptic, girl-bodied road warrior, lost princess techno thriller in your face and read it right now. It's every kind of badass. and that was Lainey Taylor, who wrote Strange the Dreamer, which is like one of my favourite books in all the world. She wrote that. 2 books, or the start of a series I should say, which I am having to emotionally psych myself up for and make sure I'm in the right headspace. The Magnolia Parks universe. I've heard people talk about this for years and years and years, but I thought, I've got no interest in it, it's not in my genre, it's not fantasy, whatever. Then Jessa Hastings come out with Never, which is like a kind of like Peter Pan. Well, it's not a retelling, it takes place after like Wendy Darling has like grown up, and anyway, it's based around like Peter Pan, Neverland, that kind of thing. All I can say is thank goodness there is more books coming out in that series, because that book ended and I was shooketh, as they say. I've never read a book like it, and I keep thinking like, will I reread it? Because for all that it was an emotional roller coaster, it is up there as like one of my favourite books ever. So I thought, right, because I loved it so much, I went on and bought Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates. But as I say, I need to make sure that I'm in the right emotional headspace for these, because if it's anything like Never, be ready. But let's quickly go through this Fairyloot box. Right, we have got Babel Tower tea light holder. Ooh. Oh wow! That's so cute. To be honest, unless you're using a scented tea light, I don't really see the point of just like a tea light holder, because the only reason I would use tea lights is for like wax melts. But this is cute. Oh, a desk mat. Oh, a throwing a glass desk mat. Oh wow! Look at that. Oh, makes me sad that I cancelled my Fairyloot subscription. What's this? The Dagger and the Flame Cozy. I need to read the... Have I got the... Oh, I do. Ooh, pen. A Tempest of Tea. Oh, that's another one I need to read. I think I'll add that to my pile. I don't really collect pins, but that is quite cool. And let's see what the book is. The Dagger and the Flame by Catherine Doyle. Oh, look at them. In a deadly game of revenge, the most dangerous mistake is falling in love. Is this kind of given Throne of Glass? Enemies to lovers romantasy. She's 18-year-old Seraphine. It's very much given Throne of Glass. Wow! Oh, it's a reverse dust jacket. So this is the front of the book. And then look at that front end page. And then is the back one the same? Ooh, no, it's different. And we've also got, usually you've got your offer letter. Oh, then a map. I do like a map. It's very useful. That's the only thing with reading a Kindle, is you can't really go back. But this is the reverse dust jacket. Can you see? I need to go and tidy all this up now. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for being here. Well done if you have stuck it out to this point. Remember, I'm going to insert the other Fairyloot unboxings from quite a wee while ago now, if you're interested to see the kind of stuff that you get in the boxes. The books are definitely worth it. But thank you for watching. If you are new here and you like this kind of content, and you especially like weekly vlogs, I do them funnily enough every week. So please subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video, and I will see you sometime soon. Bye! I don't even know what this is, and already I'm excited. Aww. Taylor's Oldest Time spoiler card. Look at that. Right, we'll not look at the spoiler card, we'll just go through. Oh. I don't even know what what this is, but it's cute. Oh look, you could put that in like your bathroom. A little, what is this bag? Box bag? The Lunar Chronicles coaster set. Oh wow! Oh hey, these would go in my living room. There's very much, you can't really see, there's a very much a blue theme in here. I mean, I don't even know who the Lunar Chronicles are, but so we've got this one. They're so nice. Sleep Like Death apple spoon. Oh my oh look how cute this is. No idea when I would ever use this or what for, but how cute. Once Upon a Time vase. Is this one of these? It is! I've always wanted one of these. It's one of these clear vases that you can put in your bookshelf if you wanted. Oh, there's 3 sets. So we've got these pink ones. These ones. I like that, happily ever after. And these ones. Well, that's like the Rose and Beauty and the Beast. I don't know where I'm going to put these because normally I would put them on my laptop, but my laptop is all stickered out at the moment. The main event. Please be good, please be good, please be good. I think I've got this on my wish list. Sleep Like Death. Cinderella is dead but Snow White fights on. Wow. Oh, this is the follow-up. So I'll need to get Cinderella is Dead because this says best-selling author Keelan Barron returns to the world of her groundbreaking debut Cinderella is Dead with his captivating standalone reimagining of Snow White's tale. Oh, maybe I don't need to read that then. But this is in page 1. And what about the end? Oh wow. Okay, I'm not. Wait a minute. Do I spy a reversible dust jacket? Oh. Wow. So this is the naked hardback. Beautiful. And then I don't think I like that one. I think I prefer this one. But it's good to have that option. Okay, so that was July's book. Oh, we're recording. Cat's arrived and my battery's running out. You want to come up and say hello?